Hello, we are the Dungeon Crawlers, and this is our game, the Apocalypse. The idea that we have come up with is a real-time strategy game which allows the players to command the undead demonic armies of the Four Horsemen. We decided to use the Four Horsemen for our game due to feeling that basic team or elemental attributed creatures are a bit overused.
I don't know many gamers that know how to play RTS games, and the reason for this is because they're too difficult to learn. For example, I myself have failed not one, but two different RTS tutorials. This game will be simple. It will allow players to learn and understand the way these types of games work. Even though this game will be simple enough for anyone to learn, it will also be complex enough to allow for great competition and strategy to be used. Players will be able to face off on a head-to-head mode or even 2v2 where they can work together to conquer the map together.
We use several mechanics throughout our game. The first mechanic that we are using is betting. We implemented this mechanic into the game by allowing each player to feel the need to win without surrendering. Players offer up their own land and army for a chance to be able to extend their own land or increase the size of their own army. The next mechanic would be translate. Players control their army with ease and use them to move around the map to either scout out areas or even to attack the opponent's base for a chance to win the game. Communication would be our third mechanic we decided to implement due to the fact that some players would like to team up, but how would they be able to chat post-match? And during the match, players will always have access to two forms of chatting. One of the chats is directed to everyone in the game, and the other chat is so that players can talk to their teammates. The fourth mechanic is scale. Omnipoints increase and decrease throughout the game, depending on whether the player spends them or waits for them to fill up enough to summon more creatures. For our final mechanic that we implemented, we decided that without having a winner and a loser, it wouldn't be much of a game. Each game will have a clear winner or loser, depending on which army is still remaining, with a slight chance of having a tie if both players land the final hit at the same time.
Most real-time strategy games have a rock, paper, scissors type of combat. Our game has 4 factions that each have a different fighting style. Death will be able to kill fast, but will not be able to stay in the fight long. War is more of a slugger fighter. All his units are slow and have huge amounts of health. Pestilence has swarms of units that will be able to attack from all sides. If you can keep up with the units, then you will have a strong army. Famine has the fighting style of hit and run. His units do bleed damage over time. Once a player can understand how to use their favorite horseman, then everything after that will be easy. This game is to be simple and quick to pick up for gamers new to real-time strategy games.
In the next few slides, I would like to point out some mock-ups of what our game could look like on a couple of platforms. In this first mock-up, you'll see how the combat would look like on an Xbox or PS4 style platform. It was important for us to concentrate on the combat style of this game. In the next mock-up, we wanted to simplify how the units would look like on the screen. Our team thought that implementing a skill tree at the bottom, like Bethesda's Diablo or WoW, would be a great feature for the computer. In the last mockup, we show how the map could look. By picking whichever horseman you wanted to play, you will face the other horseman's minions, and then the horseman himself. At the end of the game, you will face the other 3 horsemen, one at a time, and then all together.